Hi classmates, Wendy here. I'm so glad to be here with you at the final project. I'd like to present to you my final project, which is a business idea. Amy's going to be getting the business plan because that really was my final project, wanting to develop a business plan for a business idea that I've been mulling over for a couple of years now. The goofy hat is representative of that business plan. And it is a doggy daycare called Dog Mom Doggy Day Camp. And the idea came about when I lost my job at Ben and Jerry's. I was managing the consumer affairs team, basically customer service for Ben and Jerry's. And I could take my dog to work when I worked at Ben and Jerry's. It was great to be able to have my dog with me. And I got to learn about a lot of other dogs in the workplace and see the needs of dog owners. And it always amazed me of within just a couple mile radius of our headquarters in South Burlington, there were a few very big doggy daycare places where people would take their dogs, even though they could bring them to work. Coworkers of mine would take their dogs for the day. So I learned a lot about what those services look like, even though I never took advantage of it. But when I found myself thinking about what next steps I was going to do with my life during a layoff, and this was before I decided to go back to school and finish my degree, I thought I'd investigate this idea of a business and see what it would look like to develop that. I took a couple of courses through the Center for Women in Enterprise, which is a really great place to go if you have a business idea and you want to work on it. They offer a lot of courses to small business owners and startup businesses. I took a visioning course. I took a course about how to build a business plan, and just last week I took a course about how to start a business in Vermont. So I've been doing a lot of work, and the business plan was the idea that I thought would be good for a final project here. So I wanted to explain that to you, not present to you the business plan, but explain the idea and how it came about. What I found was that it is an expensive venture for me to investigate here in Waterbury, where I live. And one of the reasons that I thought that Waterbury would be a great location is because of it being centrally located in the state, Exit 10 being a perfect location for commuter traffic, local commuter traffic along the I-89 corridor between Burlington, Chittenden County, and Montpelier, and also being centrally located between a lot of different resorts and ski areas, famous mountain biking trails, and tourist attractions in general. I thought that not only addressing the need for people who want to have a daycare for their dog while they're at work, a lot of the local traffic going through Waterbury onto 89 or vice versa is commuter traffic. A lot of the other traffic is tourist traffic going to the various resorts and attractions around here. And I thought that that would be addressing the need of the target market for locals and tourists alike who are wanting to have good care for their dogs. I'm talking about a facility that would be able to house upwards of 50 dogs at a time, that provides grooming and spa services, some outdoor adventure, and training and education for owners and for dogs. And in addition to that, part of my idea comes from not only meeting my need as a dog owner, but also meeting the needs of my community. And another workplace need that I'd like to address with this business idea is based on a personal story. I am the financial guardian for a young 27-year-old man with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And I'm very interested in his capabilities. Obviously, I have a personal interest in his ability to find employment, and he is very interested in finding employment, but it is not easy at all. And I come to learn that 80% of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities are unable to find work. I found a really great business model. I stumbled upon it. It's called Biddy and Bowes. It's a coffee shop down in Charleston, South Carolina. And this woman had two kids, her two youngest of four, both have Down syndrome. And she developed this coffee shop to employ people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And I thought, wouldn't it be great if I could build a workplace that addressed that need in our community here? So I have built part of the business plan to include that, and have investigated that idea with our local Voc Rehab here in Vermont, and also the Department for Disabilities, Aging, and Independent Living. And I come to find out that there are support services. It's a very formidable issue to tackle as an employer, but it's possible. It's possible, and I thought that in my business, I sure would like to be able to employ people that are otherwise unemployable or have barriers to employment. So the idea is that a doggy daycare called Dog Mom Doggy Day Camp that addresses those needs in the workplace for my local community. Thanks very much for listening. I really appreciate all the teaching weeks that we've had, and want you to know how much they have enriched my life, my school experience, and also this business idea, which I don't think that I will move forward with, but I want you to know that it has been truly a pleasure working with you, and know that in the background I've been utilizing everything that I've learned in the last 8 weeks from all of you in the formulation of this plan. Thanks very much.